Good evening, you're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. So the good news is that it has started to rain on the outskirts of Chennai. That's what we're getting in. Now, if this continues, then maybe the reservoirs have started to fill up. The terrible news is that India's sixth biggest city is within an inch of 0 day. No water, running completely dry. Where Chennai today mirrors a city living in urban hell.
This particular school in Krompet has revised its timings to half a day from Monday onwards. Most other schools have either given selective holiday to a particular section of class students or revised their timings. Most of the private schools in Chennai are dependent on groundwater as well as on private water tankers to meet their demand. However, the inordinate delay in supply of water from the private tankers as well as the exorbitant prices have made it extremely difficult for the schools to tide over the crisis.
Chennai has over 2,000 hostels for young professionals and students, and over 100 of them wear the same eerie deserted look, like the one I am in right now. Inmates had to leave the hostels because of the severe water crisis and had to either go back home or find an alternate solution. Hostel owners also find themselves in the lurch as they do not know from where they're going to get the water from.
We are right at the Pallavaram Big Lake in the southern suburb of Chennai. This was once a sprawling water body that catered to the drinking water needs in the southern suburbs. But now it's a picture of neglect. The lake over the years was used as a dumping yard of untreated sewage and garbage. Restoration work was ordered by the government a year back, but it is nowhere near completion.
First time the Chennai metro, even in 40°C temperature, has turned off air conditioning in non-peak hours as it consumes way too much water. Public amenities being curtailed because Chennai has run out of water.
Now, an underground station such as this in Chennai uses almost 9,000 litres of water per day. The elevated stations use around 3,000 litres of water per day. The entire metro line uses over 2 lakh litres of water per day.
So this is metros. Let's move on to restaurants. Restaurants are now being told by the government, mind you, to serve just one meal a day due to the water crunch. Top hotels in the city of Chennai have issued circulars to guests to curtail water consumption.
Our requirement is around 90,000 litres per day, and we get only on 70,000 litres. That also is very difficult. And we inform our customers. We have been telling all the customers, they are also aware of it, how to go easy on the water crisis.
Now, the water crisis has reached a point where the Madras High Court had to intervene, questioning the government, saying that Tamil Nadu's water scarcity didn't quite happen in just one day. What was the government doing? Why has it been caught napping? Zero water management efforts have been made by the government, is what was said by the Madras High Court. The government waited till the last minute to create awareness for conservation. This is what the Madras High Court said just a day ago, pulling up the government for making this city reach and crisis such as this. And what has been the most unfortunate meanwhile is the Tamil Nadu government's response to the court and the people. The Tamil Nadu government blaming the monsoon failure for the water crisis, and this is what they had to tell the press. The Chief Minister says this entire issue is exaggerated.
ஆக இந்த ஊடக நண்பர்களும் பத்திரிகை அரசுக்கு துணை நிற்க வேண்டும். ஏதோ ஒரு இடத்தில் ஒரு பிரச்சனை அது பெரிதுபடுத்தி தமிழ்நாடு முழுவதும் இன்றைக்கு குடிநீர் பிரச்சனை இருப்பதை போல ஒரு மாய தோற்றத்தை தயவு செய்து ஊடக நண்பர்களும் பத்திரிகை நண்பர்களும் வெளியிட வேண்டாம் என்று அன்போடு இந்த நேரத்தில் கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன்.
All right, viewers. So before we go to our guest this evening, I'd like to immediately cut across to my colleague Lokpriya. Lokpriya, you know, the good news is what we began this bulletin with, is that it has started to rain on the outskirts of Chennai. So possibly the reservoirs, which had completely gone dry, would possibly now start to fill, but it would take a lot of time. I believe you're in a residential complex, in a place where there is no water for the last 24 hours. It's over to you.
Well, yes, Chennai is facing unprecedented proportion of water scarcity, and the residents of the city are grappling to handle this particular crisis. I'm coming to you live from an apartment complex here at Abhiramapuram in the heart of Chennai city, and believe it or not, even the residents over here are facing a severe water crisis. They have a very minimal supply of bore water, and Metro Water's piped water supply has been cut over 1.5 months back. Sir, how do you deal with this crisis? We have the Chief Minister who says that this problem is exaggerated and blown out of proportion.
The Chief Minister cannot say that this is exaggerated, because every nook and corner people are waiting for the water lorry with the plastic kodam, and people are demonstrating. There are struggles are going on, and people are suffering for the water shortage, and also there is a challenge of quality of water supplied also. If the ministers say that it is exaggerated by the media and all, they are insensitive to the reality what is people suffering.
Ma'am, it must be quite difficult to deal with the children as well during summer season. They might want to take a shower twice a day, but several rationing methods are being done. But do you think it's unfair that the government is not giving priority to its residents, but rather ensuring that they enjoy all the privileges?
We are absolutely helpless. Not just this government, all the governments, the previous governments, the political parties should do something for the long run. The rainwater harvesting was a very good program, but unfortunately this time there is no rain. So we should think of water recycling plants, smaller size plants which smaller apartment complexes like ours can put to use. Because of the lack of such facilities, now we are absolutely stranded.
So there you have the residents who are left with no option but to buy water from the private tankers at exorbitant prices, thus pinching a hole in their pocket. It is time that the government wakes up and finds a solution for residents like these rather than enjoy the benefits on their own.
Thank you, Lopriya, for that quick report. Now, what is the government of Tamil Nadu doing? Well, officially, the stand is that this entire crisis is being exaggerated, even though it is the government that has shut the air conditioning off in Chennai metros. It is the government that has asked private schools to curtail hours. Even public schools have been told to curtail hours. It is the government that has issued a notice to various colonies saying, conserve because we can't supply. Even then, the government to the press, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu to the press has said that it's all being exaggerated. The High Court, in fact, has come down heavily on the government. I'd like to cut across to our panelists this evening. I have A. Sarvanan. He's a spokesperson of the DMK. Muralidharan Sivalangam joins us in the capacity of a political analyst. And I have Arun Krishnamurthy, environmentalist. Mr. Sivalangam, let me start with you. Where do you think the government went wrong? Because this is going horribly wrong. Where you have to shut down schools, you have to switch off the air conditioning in your metros. Your hotels are giving notices to their the people who are coming in, to their guests, and the government comes out and says this is all being exaggerated. Really, is this exaggeration, sir?
Preeti, what we need to understand is Tamil Nadu constitutes 4% of land area of India. It has 6% of the population of India, but only 2.5% of the waterways, which means a per capita requirement or the availability of water for an Indian citizen is 2,000, vis-a-vis a Tamil Nadu person it's only 900. So this is perennially a dry state. So that's the reason we have 17 rivers and 61 reservoirs and 42,000 tanks. So we are highly dependent on two monsoons. One is the northeast, which contributes 47%. Then you have the southeast monsoon, which contributes 35%. If these two monsoons fail, the water in these reservoirs can hold up for a year and a half or two. Now, what has happened is the last 200 days, we have missed out on the summer rains, etc. So, plus adding to that is the population increase. So the number of apartments which are like which used to be big bungalows earlier, now in each bungalow space you have a 20 apartment building. So we are sucking up so much water from the ground. So the groundwater level has gone down. That's where all these, residents, whenever we show Mike, they're getting irked and they're getting angry. It's obviously because the groundwater, the bore water which they were dependent on, not much on the metro water from the government, but the groundwater has dried up. So because of that, the requirement of tankers have gone up. So that's
so the government the government has no part to play. Arun Krishnamurthy, before I go to our DMK guests, I'd like to bring you in. Do you buy the explanation that the rains didn't come on time? We are dependent on the monsoon. The 6th biggest city in India is in urban hell because the monsoons didn't show up on time. Is that an excuse enough that the government is giving today to its citizens?
The scientific logic, yes, that it is that, right? 2015 saw massive floods. We should understand that we are in a climate change era, and Chennai is the best social laboratory to explain this. We had excess amount of rainfall in a very short time, and ever since then, 16, 17, 18, and now in 19, 4 years into this, we've had very poor rainfall statistics to prove this. Also, the untoward expenses through which we have been tapping into groundwater reserves has depleted the city's water table beyond repair. Of course, yes, everybody has a role to play. It's not just the government, it's the citizens' excess use of water. Of course, we need to take a lot of precautionary steps, no denying it. But this is not a government-manifested crisis that's been posted on us. This is a natural calamity that is hitting us, and we need to come together to get out of this. We are at least another 3 months before the actual monsoon set in for Chennai. So we have another 90 days to go through with what water we have right now. Also, if you look at this as an urban metropolis, we are advancing in many ways, but we are no way close to enhancing our water infrastructure, our metering systems. To tap into groundwater reserves, people need permissions, but do people really? So,
Arun, are you being a little kind on the, are you being a little kind and a little soft on the state government of Tamil Nadu? Because whose responsibility is it to move towards conservation? Whose responsibility is it to look at water awareness? Whose responsibility is it?
Chennai.
I want to bring in A. Sarvanan as well, because a lot of people right now would say, that even being an environmentalist, you possibly are being a little soft on the Tamil Nadu government. The onus lies with the Tamil Nadu government. They failed their citizens today.
If I'm allowed to finish,
Please. Yes.
If you're allowed to finish, see, Chennai has many examples of water conservation which no other city has seen. The Greater Chennai Corporation, along with citizens of this very city, with many civic organizations like ours, took up the restoration of 200 ponds. If your camera crew walks with us, we can show you all these lakes and ponds. We had very poor monsoon last year, which is definitely having its impact. No denying the fact that the monsoons...
So Arun, you don't agree with anything that the High Court says? The High Court says putting the blame squarely on the Tamil Nadu government, and you don't quite agree with that. A. Sarvanan, it is a natural calamity. It happens every year, even though it is the 6th biggest city in India, yet it's dependent only on the monsoons, and the government has nothing to do with this.
See, this is not a natural calamity. A natural calamity is something which takes you unaware, where you don't have any time to respond, you don't have any play to counteract that. But here we knew this is what is going to happen 6 months back when the monsoons failed. What was the government doing? That is everybody's question. This government had slept over. They were busy surviving every day. They were busy ensuring they loot the state of Tamil Nadu, not bother about the citizens. Today, the Kerala Chief Minister has offered 20 lakh liters of water through train every day, and the Chief Minister has the audacity to deny that. He says Tamil Nadu is not reeling under any water crisis. We will not take any help from you. What can we say about this Chief Minister? This is the most irresponsible Chief Minister Tamil Nadu had ever seen. He has the audacity to say that it is the exaggeration of the press that there is water crisis. This is not a crisis. We have moved from that stage. We are now facing a catastrophic situation. Another 10 days, 15 days, we don't know what we are going to do. And we are seeing water pumped into the Chief Minister's residence. Probably that is why he is not able to feel the pinch of not having water. Everywhere this is the conversation. This is the only conversation everybody is having in the city of Chennai. All these people who are trying to support the government are indeed trying to cheat the people of Tamil Nadu, trying to protect the government from their wrath.
All right, okay. Let me cut across to Mr. Sivalangam again. And Mr. Sivalangam, you know, while I ask you that question, I'd just like to pull out all the graphics that we have made on what the High Court said to the Tamil Nadu government, where the onus of this tragedy, and we are calling it that because it's appalling. It is appalling that today, in 40 degrees Celsius, the citizen of Chennai has to travel in a metro without air conditioning. Your school hours are being curtailed. Your hotels right now have run dry. Your guests are on notice in your hotels, and you call yourself a metropolitan, and you call yourself the 6th biggest city in this country, sir.
Preeti, we had a similar situation in South Africa. That city is not a backward city. That is one of the largest and popular cities in the world. They had the similar problem. And when there's a crisis, you have to manage it. Now, let me come back to allegations of Mr. Saravan. His leader, tall leader, is holidaying in Singapore. He's not even here. There's a water management board for the Kaveri which has been constituted, and their alliance in Karnataka are not willing to give us water. Next, their MP, Mr. Jagat Ratchagan, runs one of the biggest liquor manufacturing company in Tamil Nadu, which consumes something like 2.1 to 2.7 lakh liters of water every day. This is the status of. And third, there was a newspaper report 3 days back. Mr. Stalin does not want to assume leadership in Tamil Nadu, doesn't want to become CM now because there are too many issues. Most of them were created by him, and the people are restless. He doesn't want to take them on. At least we are here holding fort. We are solving issues. They are like cowards, running away from the issue. This is what I have to tell to DMK.
Mr. Sivalangam, tell me one thing, sir.
Data you have,
Mr. Sivalangam, I'd like to ask you, because there are a lot of people in Chennai who would be watching this broadcast. Let me ask you, do you think, and tell me seriously, as a citizen of Chennai, do you really think that the water crisis, as your chief minister says, is exaggerated, yes or no?
Preeti, I don't think, see, he's being misquoted very highly.
He's not being misquoted, sir. Hold on.
The media
just hold
or
on, sir. All right, don't blame the media. Don't blame the media here, Mr. Sivalangam. What I'll do is I'll play that reaction, and then you tell me if he's been misquoted. Let's, if we have it right there, we're going to just play it, and I'm coming right back to you. Let's hear that.
Yes.
புரிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டும். ஆக இந்த ஊடக நண்பர்களும் பத்திரிகை அரசுக்கு துணை நிற்க வேண்டும். ஏதோ ஒரு இடத்தில் ஒரு பிரச்சனை அது பெரிதுபடுத்தி தமிழ்நாடு முழுவதும் இன்றைக்கு குடிநீர் பிரச்சனை இருப்பதை போல ஒரு மாய தோற்றத்தை தயவு செய்து ஊடக நண்பர்களும் பத்திரிகை நண்பர்களும் வெளியிட வேண்டாம் என்று அன்போடு இந்த நேரத்தில் கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன்.
Mr. Sivalangam, I would reckon your Tamil is way better than mine. Would you like to tell me whether he's being misquoted, the media's twisted his words or not? And honestly, as a citizen of Chennai, tell me, do you believe it's been exaggerated or not?
No, Preeti. This is exactly where he was misquoted. What he said is, there are issues. Chennai is definitely suffering because Chennai, all the big reservoirs are dried out. But it does not mean that, we should not portray it like, it's happening all over Tamil Nadu. He's humbly requesting the media. He is not blaming the media, saying that you are playing into, in the hands of, the opposition or whatever. He is saying, humbly requesting you to cooperate with us to solve the issue. Don't blow it out of proposition. There are a few medias doing it. Today, there's another media has done a sting saying that, water is going to the chief minister's house, but people are left high and dry. Unfortunately, that water tanker is entering premises where there's something like 10 chief ministers residing. So one tanker entering a chief minister's and the other minister.
No, it's rather interesting. It's rather interesting you're saying, Arun Krishnamurthy, as a water conservationist, would you reckon, and I'd ask you frankly, because like I said, there are so many citizens of Chennai watching today, do you think this is being exaggerated or blown out of proportion? You don't have basics today. Your restaurants don't have water. Your kids are not going to school because they've been told to sit at home because the schools don't have water. If this is not 0 day, then what is 0 day?
We're definitely, nobody is saying that there is no water crisis. There is an acute water shortage, acute water crisis. We all know why this happened, and we all also know how we're going to resolve this, and the city is fighting back. There is a lot of issues ranging from south of the city to the north of the city. Water bodies have gone completely dry. This is an unprecedented situation. Nobody is denying that at all. And it is unfortunate that the top management or the top leadership in the government thinks that some parts of this is exaggerated, which it is not, right? It is a problem that exists. Also, this is beyond politics. I don't belong to either political class. I'm a common citizen who relates to every water body in this city. And let me tell you this, it's not just the humans, the biodiversity in the city has taken a complete beating. Temperature regulations in this city is gone for a toss, right? Beyond which there is a climate catastrophe that the city is facing as we speak. If Chennai is not a lesson for India, I don't know what is.
No, sir. Okay, and I'll bring in a Saravanan because you say, and I'd like to take that. If Chennai is not a lesson for India, then what is? What about your own leadership? And that's what the question I was asking Mr. Sivalingam, because your own leadership thinks that you're blowing this out of proportion, that we're over-exaggerating it. And we shouldn't be doing so. But Saravanan, a question posed by Mr. Sivalingam, and it makes sense there. What is the opposition doing right now in Chennai? Your top leadership is not in the city. How are you pointing fingers at this current government when you yourself are really doing nothing to solve the situation? There has to be some onus on, on the opposition as well.
Yeah, see, the opposition has been raising this water issue for the last 6 months. We have been asking the government, we have been knocking on the doors of the government, we are trying to wake up the government which is in slumber. Wake up, this is what you're going to face, and we are here. And what our MPs, MLAs, district secretaries are doing, our leader, Mr. M.K. Stalin, has given them instructions. So they are bringing in water tankers, spending their own money to the poor people who cannot afford water, who cannot buy water. That is going very viral in all the social media, in all the vernacular magazines are carrying what our MPs and MLAs are doing. And that apart, see, when we speak about the government, what are we asking is this: when you are saying what the opposition is doing, we want to do a constructive role. But what this government is doing, why can't they even call an all-party meeting? See, the problem is this: they don't want to acknowledge, because if they acknowledge, the fingers will be pointed at them. They don't want to take the blame. They want to shy away
Mr.
from the blame.
Mr. Sivalingam wants to come in. Why not call an all-party meeting? Why not make it a crisis situation? Mr. Sivalingam, you wanted to say something quickly, 10 seconds.
Preeti, I would like to tell you, what are the opposition doing? Most of them are first-time entrants. Out of the 37 MPs, they are all clicking selfies, and one person has gone to taking his entire family to the parliament and taking photographs. This is what the opposition is doing. They don't have a...
Mr. Muralidharan Sivalingam, what does that have to do with what your government is doing? Your government is saying you're blowing this out of proportion.
You don't call these panelists for your debates. This is not for DMK bashing. If he wants to bash DMK, let him do it at some other forum. We are discussing a problem which is affecting the entire city, most of the state. Let him give constructive ideas.
Sir.
All right, okay, gentlemen, I need to close the show. And I don't want to get into this. Sir, I don't want to get into this. I don't want
your idea on the opposition. We don't want your idea.
You think.
Let's keep the fight out of this.
You can blame the opposition.
All right, I need to close the show. I thank our panelists for joining us, and let's just hope so that the Tamil Nadu government understands what the people of Tamil Nadu are saying. And this is what we'd like to leave, the best images. And if we can say the best images, because you'd want to see them, of Chennai running completely dry. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.